Hello everybody, Adrian Meleto from Miami Acupuncture Therapy with another video for you guys on Meleto's Revolutionary Remedies. And today we're going to talk about some exercises and self-help things you could do at home that'll help alleviate your pain. Because as far as like the current situation is, many people are at home, a lot of places where you might be able to get some pain relief mechanically, besides just popping a pill. A lot of places they're not open, so many people don't have a place to go to, where you can get the remediation for certain pains, especially orthopedic pain, from a mechanical standpoint. So I'm going to demonstrate a few things that you can do, some with a partner and a couple that you can do on your own that will help you quite a bit. Now the first one we're going to do is for lumbar. The cervical, we're going to probably do in a video later this week. The neck, that's going to be later this week. But today we're going to do about lumbar pain. Now, if it's due to bulging disc or herniated disc, that's a completely different mechanism if it's just muscle pain. So, when it's bulging disc and there's impingement, especially if it's radiating down. Now, one of the best things that you could do is called traction, where you create space, a little more space between the two vertebrae so it's not squeezing the disc quite as much. And a lot of times, just doing that alone, and even though there's some other things you could do to bring down the inflammation, for now, if it's like an at-home thing, ice will also help. But I'm going to demonstrate a stretch that you can do, a traction stretch that will help create that space and alleviate some of the pain. So we're going to have my partner here. It's going to lie face down. You could do this one on a bed.
Or right at that bed? Like that?
Yeah. And then you're going to take the affected side. So let's suppose I just angle here a little bit so you can see a little better with the camera. So we're going to say it's the left leg, since it's a little closer to the camera. Sometimes if a person has knee pain, you have to be very careful with this stretch. So what you're going to do is, you're going to take the leg. I always put the hand under the thigh, because if I put it on the knee, it puts too much stress if I pull on the knee joint. So I always lift this up, relax completely. For this to really work, the person has to be completely relaxed, because if they're not completely relaxed, you're going to pull on soft tissue, muscle, etc., and not bone. So the person might actually strain themselves. So you're going to have your hand underneath here to eliminate gravity and resistance, so that way there's no stress, there's less stress on everything else. And then you're going to lean back, and you're just going to pull back. You don't want to do like a fast jerky motion, because you don't want to affect the soft tissue. So you want to do something gradual, and then if you're not like such a strong person, it's a very big person, you can just use the weight of your body and then just lean back, and then you just pull back. And then once you do it gradually, then you could put like some decent amount of force and tension, and then you could really create that space. And that makes, in my office, that usually makes a big difference in addition to everything else I do. Now, the other thing that we can do, if you can scoot over,
What?
this one's called the Mackenzie stretch. Now, even though this one is sometimes a little bit better on the bed because it's easier for the person to get leverage on the traction, the Mackenzie stretch, you need to do it on a more hard surface, because a bed you kind of sink. So the Mackenzie stretch, basically the mechanism is, I'm going to demonstrate the stretch first, and I'm going to explain the mechanism behind it and why it helps. So basically you're going to lie face down, and then you're going to use the strength in your arms to pull your torso up. You're not going to do any work here. You're not going to use these muscles or anything. Let your arms do all the work. If this is too difficult, you just get up to here first. If it's too painful, And then if you could like progress to this without too much discomfort, you may do so. And then in yoga, it's called the cobra stretch. And if you could do that a couple times a day at home. And if it's due to bulging disc, the Mackenzie stretch helps a lot because basically what that stretch does is the vertebra will push the bulging disc back in, because a bulging disc or herniated disc is basically like a bubble sticking out of the disc, which is basically the cushion between the bones. So when that stretch position will push the bones, it'll push that bubble inside, and that will reduce the proximity of the bulge to the nerve, and it'll reduce the inflammation in there, so it'll help a lot and it'll help relieve the impingement. And then the final thing I want to show you, and this stretch is only for a very specific thing. If you have some sciatica or radiating pain because of this muscle, the piriformis, and I do have a YouTube video just on that where I explain it more in detail, but the piriformis is a muscle that attaches here to his tailbone and here to the greater trochanter, which is the head of the trochanter is that ball here, and attaches here. So if it's really, really, really tight, a lot of tension, it sits right on top of the sciatic, and a lot of times that creates radiating pain and a very debilitating pain. And many times a simple stretch will help it. So if you find a place, this is not ideal because usually a sedentary person will need something to hold on to for balance. But you would place your leg in this position like a cross. And then you can feel a stretch. If you don't feel a stretch too much, that might mean because this back leg might not be quite as close, so you might want to bring this heel up close, and it'll make the stretch a little bit more. And then you could just do that gradually. You could also do it like lying on your back or a partner helping you. If you do have a partner help you with any kind of stretching, just make sure it's very gradual so you don't strain yourself. And those are some self-help things you could do at home. If you're unable to get out, you're in shelter in place, and if many of your local practitioners are unavailable to do it mechanically for you, at the very least, it'll help quite a bit. So if you have any questions about that, just feel free to leave a comment below. I'm going to do some stuff for the neck later this week, and probably next week I'll probably do some self-help things manually for headaches, some secret acupuncture points that could be used to help with that. And so you don't miss out, make sure you subscribe and click that bell notification so when the video comes out, it'll show it, because otherwise you might not know it's out unless like you actually search for it, you look for it. So make sure you click that bell notification in addition to subscribe. And since now we're at home, etc., we're not seeing patients as much, a lot of people could benefit from this, so be sure to share the video, encourage other people to subscribe so we can keep this YouTube thing going. So we'll see you on the next video.
Bye-bye.